Good morning students, welcome you all in the class of History Civics. Right now we are just going to the chapter the legislature. Okay, so earlier till now we have just discussed about the composition of Lok Sabha. Okay, now we have just known also about the composition of Rajya Sabha, the qualifications which are required to become the member of Lok Sabha as well as the members of Rajya Sabha. Today I am going to tell you about the powers of the parliament. Okay, so first of all we will know about the legislative powers of the parliament. Legislative powers means law making powers of the parliament. So listen carefully children, here I would like to tell you that the most important function of the parliament is to make laws. Okay, and until first of all, what happens in the process of making law? First of all, a proposal is introduced in the house. Okay, then this proposal, it is known as a bill. It is debated. Okay, then the reading is done, first reading, second reading and third reading. Okay, then if it is passed by the house, then it is sent to the other house. Once it is passed by both the houses, then finally it is sent for the president consent. If the president signs it, then this bill becomes a law. Okay, so this is how a bill becomes a law. Now these bills, they are of two types, ordinary bill and money bill. So money bill is that bill which is dealing with the income and expenditure, okay, about the taxes. So these are known as the money bill, which talks about the money matters, and other bills are known as the ordinary bill. So ordinary bill can be introduced, the proposal regarding ordinary bill can be introduced in any of the house, whether in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha, but the money bill can be introduced only in Lok Sabha. Okay, now the president also has certain powers regarding this ordinary bill as well as money bill. When just the bill is sent to the president for his signature, his or her signature, then president can return a bill with some suggestions or modifications. Then the legislature returns the bill with some modifications or without the modification. So if the bill is returned to the president, then the president is bound to sign the bill. Okay, so president has a little powers regarding these bills, and money bill can only be introduced in the lower house with the prior approval of the president. So once it is passed, it is introduced in the house, Lok Sabha, it is debated, discussed, okay, and then it is finally sent to the Rajya Sabha. So here Rajya Sabha has limited powers, has virtually no powers regarding money bill. It can at most delay the money bill for 14 days. It can give some suggestions, suggest some modifications, but it depends on Lok Sabha whether it accepts the suggestions sent by Rajya Sabha or not. Okay, if the Rajya Sabha does not return the bill during the 14 days, then the bill is supposed to be considered by passed by both the houses, and then it is sent to the president. So president actually he is also bound to sign this money bill. So this is all about the legislative powers of the parliament. I think everything should be clear to you. If any query, you can ask me in the upcoming live class. Okay beta. Now let us know about the financial powers, okay, of the parliament. So parliament, it is known as the guardian, custodian of the national fund. Not a single pie can be spent without the approval of the parliament. The government cannot impose any or collect any tax, impose any new tax on the public without the approval of the parliament. Okay, and the fiscal, the financial policies of the government come into effect only after the approval of the parliament, and the financial powers of the parliament are exercised by Lok Sabha, lower of the parliament. Rajya Sabha actually has no powers regarding the financial matters. Okay, so a cut motion passed or rejection of any money bill by Lok Sabha means a vote of no confidence against the Council of Ministers, and in that case the government is bound to resign. Means if any financial bill is not passed by Lok Sabha, then it means government is in minority. Okay, it means the government has lost the confidence in the house, and in that condition government is bound to resign. So this is all about the financial powers of the government. Okay, now children, let me tell you about the executive powers of the Parliament. So the Council of Ministers is directly responsible to the Parliament, okay, to Lok Sabha especially. The member of Parliament can ask questions and supplementary questions to the concerned ministers, to the different ministers, for getting information about their work. Okay, they can just move adjournment motion, cut motion, call attention motion, censure motion, and no confidence motion for keeping the ministry under control. Means by introducing these motions, the member of Lok Sabha, they can keep a control over the ministry. Okay, and this way the ministers and prime minister can also be held responsible for their duties and responsibilities. So Lok Sabha also can cause the fall of the government by passing a direct vote of no confidence against the prime minister and the cabinet minister. Means if the motion, if the vote of no confidence is passed against the prime minister and his council of ministers by Lok Sabha, then the government is bound to resign. Okay, so these are the different powers of the parliament. Okay, for today it is over. In the next video I will tell you about some other powers of the parliament. Till then, have a good day.